إن الحمد لله الصلاة والسلام على نبينا محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه وسلم. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome to this session titled
Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala can do anything with means, without means, and against means. Means or asbab are certain resources, materials, actions, capability, methods, or systems by which a result is achieved. For example, medicine used to treat diseases, water to quench thirst, warm clothes for protection against cold, etc. By their nature, means are creations. Means can be apparent or dini. Now, apparent means one can appreciate thousands of trees hidden in a single seed, growing eggs inside birds, bringing live chicks from those eggs, etc. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala creates and sustains these systems over and over again. These are from the signs of Allah. Yet people see the means which are apparent and do not see the power behind it. Thus people naturally develop beliefs around such means. They consider dignity, success in the apparent means, but alas, Allah has not kept those things there. In contrast, dini means are the beliefs and deeds of man which bring about their true success or failure. Allah kept success in dini means, but people fail to see it, and thus prophets are sent. When the hidden system of Allah comes to support, nothing can forestall it. When Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala willed to bring Musa alayhi salam in the palace of his arch enemy Pharaoh, all the resources of then superpower and murder of thousands of young boys of children of Israel could not prevent it. The role asbab plays is not more than the role of a dinner plate upon which food is placed. The plates of happiness and sadness in this world are small, and so small amount of it we see in this life. In the akhirah, the plates of happiness and sadness will be large, and so the blessings and the problems of the akhirah will be large. So in this sense, education is a plate, job is a plate, marriage is a plate, home is a plate, money is a plate, every kind of relationship is a plate, and so on. Ultimately, it is Allah who bestows on the plates the quality of success or failure, benefit or loss, blessing or affliction, etc. This then also means that we can never know for sure when something looks good is actually good, or when something looks evil is actually evil, and so forth. This is why we need guidance. We need to beseech everything from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And for the same reason, revelation takes precedence over reason. People's deception is like a mirage. This deception is also likened to the reflection of the sun upon water. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is able to give wealth without us seeking after it, security without power. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala questions, who gives water, spread the land, created your body? Allah created the whole universe with His will without any means. He created Adam a.s. without any father or mother. أَمْ خُلِقُوا مِنْ خَيْرِ شَيْءٍ أَمْ هُمُ الْخَالِقُونَ أَمْ خَلَقُوا السَّمَاوَاتِ وَالْأَرْضِ بَلْ لَا يُوقِنُونَ. Or were they created by nothing? Or are they the creators? Or did they create the heavens and the earth? Rather, they are not certain. Sahaba radiallahu ajma'in hardly had any means, few in number, wearing dirty clothes, living in tiny houses. Poverty was their norm. But when the help of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala came, they were able to defeat the two superpowers of the time. Thus we must listen attentively, learn, practice and sacrifice upon the authentic knowledge, prophethood, even if the system of the world or the so-called conventional wisdom is against it. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala promised victory against enemies in Mecca, which was fulfilled in Medina. Aisha radiallahu anha used to recite the following verse in Mecca while still a young girl. سَيُهْزَمُ الْجَمُعُ وَيُوَلُّونَ الدُّبُرُ. Their multitude will be put to flight, and they will show their backs. In the Qur'an, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala warned us against relying on apparent means. Three such examples are: Yusuf a.s. asked a fellow prisoner to mention him to the king with the hope that this will lead to an early release, but the person forgot. Sulaiman a.s. did not say Inshallah when he met his women, hoping 100 boys will be born who will fight in the path of Allah. son of Nuh salam, took shelter in the mountain to avoid the flood, which was meant as a punishment from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. All apparent means are traps or fitna. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created the means to fulfill our needs, not to corrupt our beliefs. We utilize means, but the condition is that our certainty must not be with it, as means cannot bring any benefit or harm except by the permission of Allah. In other words, there is no guarantee that the means will deliver success, but there is a guarantee of success with the support of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Similarly, there is no guarantee of failure with the lack of means. Man thinks like the son of Nuh, Canaan, that he can escape the punishment of Allah by some apparent means, which are there by the virtue of his Qudrah. Example, going to a high mountain in case of a flood. But the manifest Qudrah of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in this case was contrary to man's perception. Also, people think that majority would be successful, but Noah's minority succeeded. People earning more than ever, yet they are going in debt. Everybody, men, women, teenagers, they are after prestige yet not getting it. This is a manifest failure of means. On the contrary, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala can give honor even inside jails, as it happened with Yusuf alayhi salam. If Allah wishes, fire can burn, and if He so wishes, fire cannot burn. Ibrahim alayhi salam was thrown in the fire, but it did not burn. Yunus alayhi salam cried out from the belly of the fish. Being underwater is enough for death. Being inside the belly of a fish is enough for death, but he was inside both. He was in total darkness. Here more than one means for death was present, but Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala saved Yunus alayhi salam against the means. In this world we will be tested again and again, in individual and collective life, but the ultimate success is guaranteed with taqwa, patience and dua. All these three are dini means. وَمَن يَتَّقِ اللَّهَ يَجْعَل لَّهُ مَخْرَجًا وَيَرْزُقْهُ مِنْ حَيْثُ لَا يَحْتَسِبُ وَمَن يَتَوَكَّلْ عَلَى اللَّهِ فَهُوَ حَسْبُهُ. And whosoever had taqwa of Allah, He will make a way for him to get out of every difficulty, and He will provide him from sources he never could imagine. And whosoever puts his trust in Allah, then He will suffice him. وَالْعَصْرِ إِنَّ الْإِنسَانَ لَفِي خُسْرٍ إِلَّا الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا وَعَمِلُوا الصَّالِحَاتِ وَتَوَاصَوْا بِالْحَقِّ وَتَوَاصَوْا بِالصَّبْرِ. By time, verily, man is in loss, except those who believe and do righteous good deeds, and recommend one another to the truth, and recommend one another to patience. Rasulullah ﷺ said, the honest and trustworthy merchant will be with the prophets, the truthful, and the martyrs. Ulama explained that this high status for the traders is because while sitting within the means of their sustenance, they sincerely believe and say, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is our sustainer, and establish His deed inside the business, and the business do not prevent them from performing all the commands of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Thus the traders earn the high status, not through apparent means, but hidden means. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala can cause birth where there is death, and vice versa. He can sustain life when there is no means of support to sustain life. He can let life be destroyed amid all the systems supporting life. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala can cause construction where humans see destruction, and vice versa. The Big Bang theory, if it is true at all, shows Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bringing about an incredibly complex universe from an explosion. We do not get flowers and cars or smartphones out of an explosion. In Surah Kahf, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala protected the young man and the dog against the elements for 300 years. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala covered up their sense of hearing. During this long period of time, their soul did not pass away, their body did not decay, they did not wake up from the sleep to urinate or defecate, their bodily hair, nail did not grow beyond normal. In fact, their complete sustenance is against the means by the qudrat of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah loved their concern for the protection of their iman above all else, so much so that He narrated it in the Qur'an all the people to the Qiyamah to reflect. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala split the earth to destroy Qarun, but he split the earth to save the life of Ismail alayhi salam with Zamzam water. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala disgraced and destroyed Nimrud and Pharaoh with their armies and kingdoms, but he gave success and honor to Sulaiman alayhi salam and Zulkarnain with their armies and kingdoms. Success is not in wealth and materials, and failure is not from lack of wealth and materials. If success was in money and materials, then Qarun would have been the most successful. Success is in the hands of Allah. If He wants to give success, He can give success without money or materials, and if He wants to give failure, He can give failure even in the structure of wealth and materials. Therefore, we should not approach or leave means for its apparent capability to benefit or harm, but we should approach or leave according to the command of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We get this training 5 times a day when we leave our occupation for salat, demonstrating that it's Allah who is our sustainer, etc. This is same with all the commands of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in every aspect of life, whether personal or communal. So, my respected listeners, this brings us to the end of the session.
May Allah give us the tawfiq to act upon what is heard and said. Subhanallah wa bihamdihi, subhanallah wa bihamdika, ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta, astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk.